Hey everyone, this is Sarah. Thank you for tuning in to this video. I'm really excited to share this one because I feel like everyone can relate to it because we've all gone through speed bumps, right? So if you are new to postpartum insomnia and you're not even sure what a speed bump is, this video may be a little advanced for you, but I'm just going to go into what a speed bump is and then share what I learned from my latest speed bump. So a speed bump is when you have gotten some good sleep, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months, and all of a sudden you find yourself up in the middle of the night and the anxiety kicks in and the fear kicks in, and you maybe have a hard night, one or two, or it could last up to a week or two or three. Everyone's speed bumps are different, right? And partly why I wanted to record this video is I want to normalize speed bumps in the beginning of our recovery. When we've had a good span of sleep, we are like feeling good. We're like, all right, we got this. It's behind us. We're not going to deal with that anymore. And then out of nowhere, the anxiety kicks in and maybe we have a hard night, right? And then we feel like we're back at square one. But it's actually impossible to be back at square one because you have learned so much about yourself and you have healed so much already, and you're just met with this again. And I want to normalize having a speed bump and normalizing that this is actually part of the recovery journey. Imagine learning how to ski. It's going to be a little hard in the beginning. It's going to be tricky. And some days you're going to actually get it and some days you're not. It's not linear. It's very up and down. And that's kind of how the recovery journey is. It's like you have to kind of expect the speed bumps to happen because they are a part of the recovery journey. So I just want to say that again because I want to normalize it, because so often when we have a speed bump, we can start thinking the same thoughts we had in the beginning. Oh, there's something wrong with us. Oh, I thought I was over. Oh, I'm back at square one. Oh, I'm never going to heal, right? And these are normal thoughts. These thoughts are normal. Of course, they're going to come up when we have a speed bump and we feel like we're back at square one. Of course, the fear is going to come up. Of course, the anxiety is going to come up. That is totally normal, right? And it really is not fun to be in it, right? It's not fun to be in a speed bump. And I just want to say it's normal to have a speed bump. It's normal to have thoughts that arise during a speed bump that feel like the thoughts you had at the beginning of your journey. Like it's all part of the healing journey. So there's nothing wrong with you. You have done nothing wrong. For whatever reason, here you are again in a speed bump, and you will make it through. This is a part of your recovery journey. You will make it through this. It will not last forever. So I want to share what I learned through my recent speed bump. And while I was in this speed bump, I really fought it for a night or two. And I beat myself up for fighting it. I judged myself for being in the experience again. And then I realized, well, one, my initial response is always to fight it. So rather than judging that part of myself who fights it, having compassion for that part who fights it and knowing that, oh, this is typically the response that I have when I have a speed bump. Oh, this part of me really fights it and gets angry and then gets really sad. Okay, I'm going to have a lot of compassion for this part of me. So know that however you react to a speed bump, a part of you is just scared. And so really showing that part compassion is the first step. And what also came to me through this speed bump is, I don't have control over when the anxious thoughts come into my mind. I don't have control over it. I couldn't even guess when they're going to come. They come and then they go, and they come and then they go. And so because I have no control over it, trying to control it or trying to figure it out or trying to fix it when I'm in it, it just actually doesn't solve anything. Just knowing like, okay, I don't have control. I may have a good night. I may have a bad night. I'm not sure. And I'm just going to try my best to roll with it and to have compassion with the parts of myself that are really struggling. That's the first thing I want to share is like we actually don't have control over the thoughts when they come and when they go. And knowing that, it's like we stop grasping for control. We stop trying to figure it out. We stop trying to solve it because there's really nothing to solve. There's nothing to figure out. The second thing I want to share is also mind related. On my journey, it was really pivotal for me to do the thought work. So I'm trained to do the work by Byron Katie. It's one of the first tools that I learned almost a decade ago on my coaching journey. And it's a tool that has really changed my life and how I relate to myself, how I relate to others. And it's brought a whole sense of enlightenment to my world. And I'm so grateful for that tool. It's what I use on myself, my clients. And I also do inner child work. So really connecting to the parts of us who feel abandoned, who feel lost, who feel like no one cares about them. You know, during adolescence, a lot of the time we didn't really get our needs met. And so inner child work is connecting to the parts of us who feel scared and mothering them the way that maybe we weren't mothered growing up. That's a huge part of my work. It's what helped me. It's what helps my clients. And both tools are a huge part of the healing journey. And when you've done the work, when you've done the inner work, when you've done the thought work, when you've done the inner child work, and the thoughts are still there, we cannot solve what's going on through the mind. If you've done the work and the thoughts are still there, get into your body. When we rely on the mind to figure it out or to solve it, we put so much pressure on ourselves to figure it out or solve it when there's actually nothing to figure out or solve. It's something that we are living through. It's something that we are experiencing. It's not something that we need to dissect or figure out. And so rather than trying to figure it out with your mind or solve it with your mind, get into your body. The healing really occurs at a somatic level. By that I mean when we are dancing, when we are riding a bike, when we are running, when we are in nature, when we are in our body, we can feel the truth of the healing that's occurring. And so try to get out of your mind and into your body. The truth lives in your body. So get into your body to really feel the truth. If you've exhausted the mind, if the mind is exhausted, if you're exhausted, get into your body. Do something that brings you out of the mind into the body. That's the second thing I want to share. The last thing I want to share is these speed bumps always pass, right? When you're in it, it is so hard and you think that it's never going to end. And then it does, right? And so I just want to remind you that this will pass and it will be over and it will not last forever. Have compassion for the parts of you who are struggling, who are afraid, who are feeling anxious. This is the time to really turn inward and to have compassion for those parts and to mother those parts. You know, imagine if your child or your best friend was going through what you are going through. What would you tell them? I mean, this was huge on my healing journey, is to really mother the parts of myself that were scared. And so it could look like this. I'm so sorry that you are going through this again. You have done nothing wrong. This is not your fault. For whatever reason, this is our experience right now. I am here for you. We will make it through. We will do whatever it takes. I'm not abandoning you. I'm not leaving you. I love you and I'm here. Just saying that to the parts who are scared and anxious, it can help so much. And you have to say it over and over and over again. It's really reassuring these parts to yourself, right? You are mothering this part of yourself. That's what we need. We need to be nurtured. We need to be loved. We need to have compassion towards these parts. So this will pass. And in the meantime, have immense compassion for yourself and mother that part of you who is scared. Okay, that's really all I have for you today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. This is not for the faint of heart. This is such a hard experience and journey, and you will make it through.